Assalamualaikum and hi. Today we will present our project about chemical pollution at Kim Kim River. Before we start, let me introduce the members of Group 1. The first one is me, Aida Sahira binti Nur Muhammad. Second, DANIAL ZITA. Third, Muhammad AKMAL bin Muhammad NIZAM. And the last one is NURUL SYAFFIQAH ELIYA binti RAHMAT. FILA table that includes facts, ideas, learning issues and action plans is a guide to create our project assignment and is referenced from the picture. And finally, we get what research needs to be done for our project.
Okay, I will present on the introduction part. Before that, I will explain a little about the chemical pollution. To put it simply, chemical pollution is defined as the presence or increase in our environment of chemical pollutants that are not naturally present there or are found in amounts higher than the natural background values. Most of the chemicals that pollute the environment are man-made, resulted from the various activities in which toxic chemicals are used for various purposes. So, what happened in Kim Kim River? It all started on March 2019. Thousands of Malaysians fell sick after being exposed to different chemicals that was illegally dumped into the Kim Kim River, located in Pasir Gudang, Johor, in Malaysia. A second wave and third wave happened, which being confirmed by the authorities that the air poisoning resulted from the river pollution not fully cleared or being properly removed because of financial issue. Next is our objective. We have three objectives, which is to study what are the causes of chemical pollution in the Kim Kim River, to study how chemical pollution can affect daily life in the immediate area, and lastly, to analyze the public knowledge and awareness of chemical pollution in the Kim Kim River. For the methodology, to achieve the objective of our studies, we use two different methods, namely technical paper and questionnaire. A technical paper is one of the ways to find knowledge in doing academic research. The source that we take is from an internet source with existing data. The questionnaire that we use is through Google form containing a structured question about the knowledge of the impact Kim Kim River.
Second, literature review. There are various questions. What is factor of the polluted Kim Kim River? The main cause of chemical pollution in the Kim Kim River is that there are a total of 2.43 tons of hazardous substances in the river. A lorry hauled chemical waste to Pasir Gudang from an unknown location and dumps it into the river. There have been traces of harmful waste oil detected. At least 15 different types of chemicals were also discovered, including colorless and very poisonous hydrogen cyanide, according to fire and rescue personnel. The inhalation of this toxic smoke is exceedingly deadly, and the result is immediate. New Straits Times further offenders causing the Kim Kim River to be polluted due to chemical residue. The offender, which is the director of the factory, was convicted on 15 charges. How chemical pollution in the Kim Kim River affect Pasir Gudang? The contamination began on 6 March, where chemical waste was disposed of. On 7 and 11 March, there are 103 victims and 106 victims around SK Taman Pasir Putih and SMK Pasir Putih. On 12 March, there are 260 victims at area SMK Tanjung Putri Resort and SK Tanjung Putri Resort. Next, on March 13, there are 506 victims and all 111 schools in Pasir Gudang closed. The chemical pollution also affects children's health. The Kim Kim River incident impacted 975 school children range in age from 6 to 17. In comparison to vinous like residential houses, crowded and enclosed areas such as classroom played a big impact in increasing the danger of these youngsters being exposed to additional contaminants. Even if the dose of exposure to children is the same as to the adult, children are more susceptible to the effect of pollutants, putting them at a higher risk of various health effects. The toxic waste was disposed of 500 meters from the schools, putting children at the greatest risk of the contamination. Next, livelihood fishermen. Normally, Fish sales at the Kampung Pasir Gudang Baru Fisherman Market range from 100 to 150 kilograms per day, with a total turnover of 3,000 ringgit to 4,000 ringgit, but they had plummeted to 18 to 30 kilograms per day during the 10 days, with sales range from 300 to 600 ringgit. The last one is environmental fate. The events that occur after chemicals are released into the environment influence their environmental fate. Acrolein and acrylonitrile are two of the most dangerous substances found in the Kim Kim River disaster. Because acrolein and acrylonitrile vapors are both heavier than air, inhaling them can cause respiratory distress, particularly in confined, poorly ventilated, or low-lying environments.
I will present Chapter 3, Data Analysis. One of the methods used to achieve the objective of the study is questionnaire. The questionnaire is divided into 3 parts, which are Section A, Section B, and Section C. The data obtained are from 41 respondents from different parts of Malaysia. For Section A, there are 5 elements, which are gender, age, race, state, and status. For Section B, respondents are required to pick on a scale 1 to 5, where 1 is not agree and 5 is highly agree. The first statement is, I know what is chemical pollution. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 23 respondents, while another 14 respondents pick scale 4 means agree, and the rest of respondents pick scale 3, which means not sure. For statement 2, I am aware about the risks and effects of having chemical pollution towards living things and environment. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5, which are 27 respondents, while another 13 respondents pick scale 4 means agree, and the rest of the respondents pick scale 3, which means not sure. For statement 3, I know that chemical pollution has occurred at Kim Kim River, Johor, and how it happened. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 4 or agree, which are 18 respondents, while another 16 respondents pick scale 5 means highly agree, 5 respondents pick scale 3, which means not sure, and the other 2 respondents pick scale 1 means not agree. Statement 4, the chemical pollution occur because of the irresponsible action from factories nearby. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 26 respondents, while another 10 respondents pick scale 4 means agree. 2 respondents pick scale 3, which means not sure, and the last 3 respondents did not answer this question. For statement 5, the pollution occur cause negative impact on the local population. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 31 respondents, while another 10 respondents pick scale 4 means agree. And for the last statement, the authorities need to take firm action to prevent this from recurring. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 34 respondents, while another 7 respondents pick scale 4 means agree. Moving on to Section C. For statement 1, the community can lodge a complaint if they see suspicious activity in the river taking place. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 35 respondents, while another 5 respondents pick scale 4 means agree, and there is only 1 respondent pick scale 3, which means not sure. Statement 2, the authorities conduct an inspection when there are complaints from local population. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 32 respondents, while another 5 respondents pick scale 4 means agree. 1 respondent pick scale 3, which means not sure, and the last 3 respondents did not answer this question. For statement 3, factory owners should be aware about the risks when managing the factory's chemical waste. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 36 respondents, while another 4 respondents pick scale 4 means agree. 1 respondent pick scale 3, which means not sure. Statement 4, firm action must be taken against factories that commit chemical pollution. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick scale 5 or highly agree, which are 36 respondents, while another 5 respondents pick scale 4 means agree. Statement 5, the authorities need to conduct strict monitoring at factories that produce chemical waste. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick skill 5 or highly agree, which are 38 respondents, while another 2 respondents pick skill 4 means agree, and 1 respondent pick skill 3 which means not sure. And the last statement, local society also needs to play a role so that this pollution does not happen. Based on the graph, majority of respondents pick skill 5 or highly agree, which are 37 respondents, while another 4 respondents pick skill 4 means agree.
Suggestion: chemical disasters are not a new thing, but have become a big issue in some developing countries, especially related to the damage that occurs to soils and water when the content of toxic chemical cause the soil to become toxic and affects plants and humans. Pollution that occurs in Kim River, Pasir Gudang, due to this toxic chemical must be eradicated by taking a series of action. First is regulation and penalties. Strict penalties should be imposed on industries that deliberately refuse to comply with existing laws and regulations governing chemical discharge. Action on the worst polluters and better enforcement of environmental laws with harsher penalties or punishment may serve as a wake-up call to the industry about their commitment to protecting the environment and the public health. Second is managing waste disposal. Toxic chemicals are becoming an increasing concern in developing countries due to their effect on human health. This environmental issue has become too severe that it affected Pasir Gudang. So, to prevent this incident from recurring, waste management must be properly managed. High temperature incineration is one of the most widely used method for burning solid waste. This procedure can also destroy organic materials. There are numerous ways to reduce the generation of hazardous waste. Third is waste minimization. Many wastes cannot be completely eliminated from a variety of processes. There are a variety of strategies that can be implemented to reduce or minimize waste generation. Waste minimization, also known as source reduction, refers to the collective strategies of product design and fabrication that reduce the amount of waste generated or the toxicity of the resulting waste. Waste in industry can be reduced by reusing materials, using less hazardous substitute materials, or modifying design and processing components. Many benefits can be realized through waste minimization or source reduction, including reduces use of natural resource and waste toxicity. And lastly is by biological treatment. Landfill disposal of waste containing significant organic fractions is becoming increasingly discouraged. Other management techniques have been identified because landfilling is not an appealing management option. To degrade the waste and convert it into usable compost, the organic fraction can be separated from the inorganic material using aerobic composting or anaerobic digestion. Organic waste containing naturally degrading materials such as food waste, yard waste, and animal mature, for example, can be converted under controlled conditions into compost, which can be used as natural fertilizer. Conclusion. As a conclusion, there are three main words that can be concluded from our research. Firstly is the industrial activity. All of the chemical used in Pasir Gudang incident were produced mainly by industrial activity. Most chemicals have the ability to produce toxic gas in the air when they react with other chemicals, substance, or rays. This causes the chemical potential to vaporize, producing fumes or gases that may cause respiratory illness in the victims. And this incident affected to human health. The most common symptoms caused by these chemicals are headache, vomiting, breathing difficulties, chest tightness, and wheezing, dizziness, diphtheria, a productive cough, and others. This is consistent with the fact that the most common route of a chemical exposure is inhalation. There is no clear evidence that the victims in the incident are suffering from a psychological manifestation, as all of the chemicals involved have been shown to have the potential to cause the symptoms reported among victims. From what happened in Pasir Gudang, we must overcome the problem so that it will not occur again. As an example, biomarker testing should take place after a certain amount of time has passed. Because of the reactivity of some chemicals and their short half-life, they are limited in their use as markers of exposure in the body. This could be the source of the incidents undetected chemicals.
The environment and the economy are really both two sides of the same coin. If we cannot sustain the environment, we cannot sustain ourselves. That's all from us. Thank you.